Hi, welcome to the State of Modern Philippines or the Stump. I'm your host, Mark. How's it going? By the way, this is our initial coverage for 2019, and Regran Toys and Collectibles was gracious enough to allow us cover their tournament last January 13, 2019. We had 53 players and 6 rounds of Modern Magic. Before we head to our first match, I'd like to ask your support to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button so that you will be notified when a new video is up. To our subscribers, thank you for subscribing, and we promise to continue our work and improve our craft. Our first match from this tournament is special because we are featuring our first female player, Fifi Aguilar. Opposite her is Marco Laanan. By the way, Fifi is the lone female player on this tournament. Do you think she'd win in this match? Let's find out. Okay, so here's our first match of the tournament. We have Marco Laanan on your right and then Fifi Aguilar on your left. So Fifi is one of the few female players that we have here in Manila, and I'm joined by Jace.
And now we're going to see what's going to happen in this game. I'm not really sure what decks are in here because during the time of recording, I wasn't there. But we'll try our best to give you the best and most impartial commentaries on this game.
All right. Um, so both players are now shuffling their decks, and this is the first time that I'm gonna be seeing Marco play. I played with Fifi before. If I'm not mistaken, she's using Burn. I played against her during a Team Modern tournament, so I won't be surprised if she's playing Burn.
I see. How about Marco? Do you have any idea on...
No, I don't have any idea. It's actually the first time that I saw him play.
I see.
Actually, it's the first time I saw him. So, and then again, we'd like to apologize if you'll be hearing cars and jeeps in the background. It's around 10 minutes before 10 p.m. here, so it's not quiet yet. And you hear the motorcycles passing by, but you know, maybe in the future we'll be doing this in a studio or something, so that we'll have a soundproof studio or something, so that we can minimize the background noise.
Right. So I think they already finished shuffling and now they're dice rolling for who's gonna play first. So it seems that Marco's going to play first.
I think Fifi is on burn because you see, her playmat is
Chandra.
Chandra. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if she's playing burn.
I'm seeing Colagan's command in Marco, so I'm guessing either he's playing some sort of Grixis control or some sort of Mardu burn, I
Let's see.
guess.
So it's an early Thoughtseize for Marco, and yep,
And
I
we're
think
seeing
it's burn for
burn
Fifi.
for Fifi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Boros burn, I think. We see there Boros Charm and Sweep Spear and Lightning Helix.
Probably
And
take
Rift Vault.
I'll probably take Swift Spear here.
I think so too.
Or if Marco has ways to deal with it, he'll probably take a burn spell instead. Let's see what will he take.
Sticking away the Boros Charm.
Yep, that's for 4 damage. So I'm expecting an attack from Fifi for 1 next turn.
Yes, with
Swift Spear.
Swift Spear, or she can suspend the Rift Bolt.
Yep. It's the
Swift
Swift Spear
Spear
then,
for
so that's for 1. I guess Marco has a way of dealing with it. There we go.
Bloodstained Mire. Fetch.
As you see, we don't know what deck is Marco using at this point of the tournament. That's why you don't see the deck beside his name yet. While on Fifi's side, we've already classified that she's using Burn.
It's a red black. It can also be, since I saw some Fateless Looting in there. Is it possible it's playing some sort of Death Shadow or something?
Maybe Collective Brutality. Do you have an escalate? I think Marco is going to be escalating here.
Yeah.
Or let's see. Yeah,
It's escalating for 2.
for 3 modes. So that's the all 3 modes for collective brutality. That's 2 damage for the creature, or -2 -2 I think for the creature.
Yes. And then,
Lose
two
2
gain
life.
2.
Yeah, lose 2 life for the opponent, gain 2 for him, and then the rest effect. So Fifi needs to discard an instant or a sorcery from her hand.
No, I think
I mean,
Marco
will choose. Sorry, yeah, Marco will choose the instant or sorcery.
I think he'll take the Lightning Helix. Yeah, he did. Okay, that's Aspiring Vantage.
Yep. Suspending a Rift Ball.
Ball and Lava Spike to the face.
Yeah.
You know that 2 damage that Marco gained is already a big deal for Fifi, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Any gain life or against burn is really big. So I think Margo is
it's
on
Mardu Pyromancer.
Yep.
But I haven't seen him play a white land yet.
Okay. So that the Pyromancer has been dealt with Rift Bolt. I think the only white cards it has is Path to Exile and
Lightning Helix.
probably, and also tokens, Lingering Souls.
Lingering Souls. Is that a suspended Rift Bolt again?
Yes.
Fifi's down to 1 card.
Yep.
And Marco still 15 life, so this is getting a bad boost for Fifi.
Okay. Fifi fetches probably a basic mountain. Or not. So Fifi uh, points the suspended Rift Ball to Marcus' face, and then plays another land and passes the turn, while Marco responds with a call against command.
I think it's going to make her discard and then fetch a creature, or 2 damage rather. The face, I think.
And Fifi responds by playing Bolt. Yeah, I think Marco used the discard effect and then the return creature to the hand. So this is the best time for Marco to make a comeback. So I see a bolt in his hand, so we can probably cast the
I
bolt.
think his hand was lightning bolt and lingering
Yeah, you
souls.
can cast the bolt and then produce a token at the end of Fifi's turn.
Fifi starting to filter her lands.
When you're a burn player and then you're getting lands, it's a really
A
you know
necessity to filter
actually
down.
you're in a bad not in a good spot if you're going lands if you're using burn. Here we go. Let's see if she will be having a threat here. Probably it's a burn spell. Oh, so Marco did not cast Bolt on the end step of Fifi.
I
And
think he's going to try and do a looting effect here because he already discarded one faithless looting.
yeah.
He took the damage.
So now here we go. Marco is casting the Bolt.
Well, creating one token.
Okay, so Marco is now attacking with the token, and he has I think he's gonna be flashing back the Fatal Looting. Nope. He is casting
That's a
the
Bedlam Reveler.
Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with the card.
it's actually it was in standard a few weeks ago, or rather a few years ago. It's in Eldritch Moon. It has I think the same effect with the ability of Sweep Spear, the prowess, and it's one less to cast for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard.
Then when it comes to play,
You discard your hand and then you draw three cards.
all right. Okay, so
It's a very good card advantage actually.
yeah, I think Marco is gonna take the first game here. Uh, or if Fifi will have two burn spells right now, she can end the game because Marco is just down to five.
Yeah.
Not sure what she has on her hand.
I think this is just Rakdos Pyromancer. I don't see any white in there.
White land.
Yeah, white land at all. He already fetched a few times and he hasn't tried to fetch anything with white source in it.
Um, my guess it's Mardu because why you will be efficient with your lingering souls if you will just be casting it from the graveyard.
Right.
So here we go. This is probably the a little swing for
Three, four,
Marco.
five, six, seven, eight, nine,
Unless
10.
Fifi, I'm seeing a Searing Blaze, I think, for Fifi. And Skullcrack maybe. But that's not gonna be enough. So Marco takes
The first game.
Yeah, sorry for the background noise. We're in the Philippines.
So let's see what's Fifi's game plan against Mardu Pyromancer. Uh,
Probably Anger of the Gods for the tokens and the
yeah,
Pyromancer itself.
Pyromancer.
There you go. I think he has a white fetch land,
There,
marsh
yeah.
flats, but I haven't seen any white source
White
yet.
source yet.
I've seen a blood moon. Perhaps he has a.
Godless Shrine, I think. I think I saw the Godless Shrine earlier.
Okay. Probably one basic land too, or basic.
I haven't
plains.
seen basic planes.
You know, yeah, it's just my gut feel that he has white source there because you don't want to, yeah, and he has wear and tear, so
Yeah.
probably has a white source there.
He's thinking about putting in, is that chalice? I think it is chalice, right?
And that's engineered
Oh,
explosives.
engineered explosives. Sorry.
He's thinking about putting in the wear and tear for probably Eidolon. He knows that this deck has an Eidolon, and that will be,
A very bad thing to land on early on, but I think he can still deal with it with Colagan's command and some bolts.
yeah. But if the Eidolon, gets his damage, it's done its job.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and you've wasted your burn spell to it instead of burning the opponent in the face. If you don't deal with it, and if you cast your burn spell to the opponent, sure, the opponent will have damage, but you also have damage as well. And the Eidolon can attack on the opponent's turn, so it's quite a powerful card, especially in this
In this format.
yeah, against this deck with spells casting cost 3 or less. That's 3 or less, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see whose plan is gonna take the game.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, this is the first time that we've featured a female player, so it's another milestone for us.
Yeah.
On our initial or episode 0, we featured two professional players, which is rare here in the Philippines. So we're blessed with that, with that previous coverage. So now we're featuring a female player.
Which is another rare thing.
Yeah.
So we're kind of rare for everything almost, I think.
Yeah, I hope on our next episode we'll have another first. Perhaps after this tournament, Fifi will have many fans,
Yeah.
especially the international community. You know her name now, and you've seen her face.
So please just continue on supporting the site, and we'll try our best to give you the latest coverage as much as we can.
Yeah. The next coverage after this is on the 26th, probably in Radioactive in Cubao, and then on the 27th.
Oh, it's anonymous.
27th, yeah, Cubao, Anonas. And on the 27th is gonna be either Regran or Kick Engines or something. So we'll have 3 tournaments, but of course we can only cover 2.
Yes.
So probably we'll cover Radioactive and Regran. But I'll try to get the deck lists for the tournament in Kick Engines, because we'll need that. We'll need a deck list for the monthly meta report. So here we
Okay.
go. There's are now cutting the opponent's deck.
I think it's Fifi's turn, right? She's going to
If
play
she opts
first.
to play first, yeah. The only deck that I can think of going with the draw is 8-rack. I can't think of any other deck as of now.
The manaless dredge.
Not sure.
I think they
I mean, in
usually,
modern, in
yeah,
modern.
right, modern. I think there's already a version of landless dredge in modern. It's just I don't know what happened to that deck. I saw it once,
But
but I didn't see it being played in.
didn't took off.
Yeah, it was a fun idea. It's just that I think the problem with that kind of strategy is it's either you make it or you break it.
I haven't really, I haven't seen it in modern. In legacy, of course, I've heard about it, and I've heard about it. I've read some articles about it, but in modern, I don't know how it would work if if it if it's called manaless in modern. I don't know. So Marco molts the 6.
So Mardu Pyromancer versus Vern, and we already have 1 point for the Mardu Pyromancer.
Yep. Fifi keeps the 7 card hand. Let's see if Marco will be keeping this 6. I guess he'll be keeping this 6. He has 2 lands and some spells and scries. Scries to the bottom, yep. Here we go. So again, the spear for turn 1 for Fifi. Okay, Marco plays a fetch and passes the turn. Now Fifi can do
loads of damage in here.
Eidolon
on turn 2.
So that's gonna be bad news for Marco. And he responds with a fetch of a swamp. Probably a fatal push?
Probably. Did he take the damage from Six Spear already?
I think it's still in the attack before
before damage dealing
or before flowers or something. So Eidolon gets fatal pushed, but not without taking 2 damage. So it's done. It has done its job, and now the Swift Spear making another damage.
There you go. Now I'm seeing a white source from Mardu.
Yeah. And another 2 damage. So Fifi is in a good position here. Yep.
She boarded Anger. I think I seeing Anger there.
Oh.
Talks the lava spike away. And I think it's gonna pass the turn.
So well, I don't know why Marco played the shock land and he took the shock there because he doesn't have anything in his hand that can take care of that Swift Spear.
I think he's thinking of using Bolt because I think I see Lightning Bolt in there.
I don't. There's a bolt. I thought he doesn't have any. So this is for 3. If he takes it. So he bolts the Swift Spear. And then let's see if he will get a land, or probably he missed that one. He didn't look at the top card of his library.
I think he did. I think he missed.
Okay, so that's a Lingering Souls. And he doesn't have any
spell that he can actually play.
Yeah, he doesn't have any land here, so he missed his 3rd land, so he's in trouble.
Guide is gonna swing.
And I think Marco is still missing the trigger, or no. No, he didn't miss the trigger there. And then
Suspense a Rift Bolt.
And it's the Pyromancer.
And turn she craps the fetch land.
Searing Blaze, maybe?
Probably Searing Blaze. It's landfall. Depends. Or maybe she's just trying to get some filter in there. But I think the best play is Searing Blaze.
Yeah.
So that she can deal 3 damage again, since there's a landfall.
and 3 to the opponent, right?
Yeah, 3 damage to target creature and then 3 damage to its controller.
Okay, and now it's gonna be her turn. So that's gonna be 5 points of damage. And if Fifi has a
A
burn
burn
spell,
spell, it's game.
it's game. Okay, let's see. There's still no land, but it's a terminate, which can deal with the goblin guide. And
And there's an Eidolon.
there's an Eidolon.
And Marco concedes.
Okay,
So moving on to third game.
So it's-
I think Marco was really in a bad shape there because of missing
third
land drops
yeah.
for 3 turns. The third land drop is missed
Three
since
turns, maybe? Or I think he missed it on the third.
yeah, on the third turn he already missed three his land drops, and it took 3 turns for Fifi to kill him.
Alright.
So for 3 turns, Marco wasn't able to do anything.
Yeah, he do have he does have that the lingering souls, which should
Yeah.
have been blockers, which should have chump blocked
The
Goblin Guide.
Goblin Guide.
not even chump block. What's the toughness of goblin guide? Is it two?
It's 2-2.
Two?
Yeah, it's 2-2.
All right, and then he can flash back
The
lingering souls. Yeah,
Lingering Souls is a very valued card, you know.
yeah.
It fits in any Orzhov based deck, no matter what kind of strategy you are playing.
Well, Orgev is actually one of its home decks, where Tokenator deck with lingering with the spirits token.
Yeah, I mean,
Token.
any decks that has Orzhov in it probably is gonna have at least 2 copies of Lingering Souls in there. Even the Esper Control that has Orzhov colors in it probably is gonna play at least 2 copies of Lingering Souls main board, and at least probably has 2 copies of sideboard as well, because you know a 2-for-1 value is
Mhm.
always important in Magic. Especially, I think that's 2-for-2 in the case of Lingering Souls, because you're gonna get a total of 4 tokens for 1 card.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is the third game. So Marco will be on the play. I think it doesn't have any red source, so I think he only has only a swamp there, and he can only cast the Inquisition.
Yes.
And I'll probably ship that. Yeah,
And no lands for a couple of turns.
yeah. So Marco most. I don't usually. I don't. Check my library after I mull. So that you won't regret it, even if you see that you have a land or whatever card you're gonna be needing the next turn. You won't be disappointed.
Well, I sometimes do that because I just want to see if I should be trusting the deck more or not.
Before I was doing it, but when I read this article, I know I read an article about it, so I've stopped looking at scrying at the cards or looking at the cards. I just ship them and then shuffle the deck and mold to 6 or mold to the lesser lesser card hand. I don't try to look at it anymore. It's good if it's the one that you're not
think,
expecting.
I'm sorry, but I think there was an error in this game already.
What?
Because I think last year or 2 years ago there was this ruling that you can't pile shuffle twice in a single match.
Yeah, I think so. Did he pile shuffle?
Yeah, he piled shuffled earlier, both of them. Now he moved. He pile shuffles again.
Perhaps we'll have, I think, I'm not sure if, you can, if I think probably, since this is a,
A local game,
yeah,
probably they're more lenient on the
yeah,
rules.
perhaps. I was thinking about that as well.
Game multi six.
Or probably if your opponent allows you,
Yeah.
you can pile shuffle as much as you want.
It's just for me personally. When that ruling came out, I was really
It's one
um
pile shuffle per match, right?
yeah, per match.
Per game, no,
Yeah,
per
per game,
game.
per game, per game. I mean, when that ruling was created, I was like, what? Why? I mean, I like power shuffling, especially after mulligans, because
Well, actually, it probably they're aiming it to save time.
yeah, it's actually the reason why they're putting that rule. Until you get used to it, you will be feeling that you are being stripped of something important. But
Well,
after you get used to it, there's that's just called moving on, bro.
yeah, sometimes I pile shuffle, but it's rare that I do that. So it's an Goblin Guide for turn one for Fifi instead of the Swift
Swift
Spear,
spear,
and that's gonna be bolted.
bolted.
I see a Kambal for Marco, which is gonna be a problem for Fifi later.
Okay, Kambal Console of Allocation is a free to cast creature with power and toughness of 2/3. That says whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So it's like natural opponent of Eidolon of the Great Revel.
Yeah, it will negate any burn spell almost.
Almost.
Yeah, because sometimes you throw three and then he gains two back, so it's just your burn spell is just one damage spell technically.
If there's no Eidolon in play. But if there's an Eidolon in play, it just negates the effect of Eidolon at the same time putting pressure on your opponent's life.
So we have the double swift
Double
spear
Swift
here.
Spear?
Let's see. So Marco took the two damage, and this is just plays a third land now. I'm not sure if he's gonna be playing the Kambal now.
I think he will. Because he can theoretically block one of the Swift Spears.
Let's see.
No?
Nope.
You want? Oh, he changed his mind.
Yeah, probably he's looking for that white
White
source.
source.
So I think he only has one
Yeah, I
white
think so.
source.
Because he's having a hard time finding it.
Yeah. And then he takes the damage, three damage there for fetching that shock land. And here we go with the Kambal. There we go.
Okay, Fifi is reading the card.
But Fifi can easily deal with this.
Yeah, it's still in bolt range actually.
Yeah.
But that will already, like Eidolon, whatever move Fifi will do, still gonna hurt.
Yeah. I'll probably bolt this one, and you can, you
Attack
can
with
attack with a
two, three
Swift
Swift
Spears.
Spears.
There
Okay,
you
it's a
go.
path.
So Mark gains two, and then Fifi loses two life. But it triggers a prowess for the two Swift Spears. So one Swift Spear will negate the gain life for Marco.
Yeah,
So I guess it's a bad exchange for Marco because he fetched for a Shockland. It took 3 damage up. So it's just gonna be there. You go. That's 4 damage for Marco. So he's down to 13.
that still hurts.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a Pyromancer and
Cracks the fetch. I think for another. I think he's gonna play double Pyromancer.
I'm not sure why he kept the Blood Moon in there. I know Fifi is in Barsburg, but you know.
Well, I think I understand why he kept the Blood Moon. Because earlier, Fifi only has one mountain, two vantage, Spiring Vantage, and one Sacred Foundry in there. So he's thinking that Fifi is playing a lot of dual lands.
Mm.
So he's trying to lock out Fifi of White Source, I think.
Yeah, of course. But now Marco has many creatures in the board. Let's see how would Fifi deal with this. So she's calculating. I'll probably kill the Pyromancer.
Yeah, probably she will kill it. If she doesn't want more tokens in play.
Hmm. There we go. So that triggers the prowess for the Swift Spears. Seeing Searing Blaze. I don't know if he has a landfall. She has a landfall. Nope. There's a
Forest
Boar Charm,
Charm.
so that's for 4 damage. Brings Marco down to 8, and then the spears are now 3/3s.
3/4.
3/4s. So Marco is forced to block them. It's just left with
token.
1 token. Well, he can flash back to the Lingering Souls in the graveyard, though. Oh, so another Pyromancer.
Pyromancer.
Then I think he's gonna be flashing,
Flashing
back
back the Lingering Souls.
Yeah. Okay.
So much red and white tokens.
Yep. But remember, Fifi has a Searing Blaze in her hand, so
Yeah, but that's just about what she can do.
but it will trigger the prowess for the 2 Swift Spears, which
Yeah.
you need to block as well.
That
If she gets a land here, she can kill the Pyromancer. And
well, even if she doesn't, if it shoves comes to shove, she can still kill the Pyromancer because Pyromancer's toughness is just 1.
yeah, but it'll be more efficient if
Yeah.
she has a landfall, so that she can deal 3
3
damage,
damage, yes.
instead of 1.
Yes.
And if she does that, I know she has another burn spell there. She can trigger another prowess for the Swift Spears, making them 3/4s. So Marco is again will be forced to block. So it's a Lightning Helix. So
That
Marco
is.
is down to 5. And I'm not sure if she will be attacking here. So she passes the turn, and we know she has a Searing Blaze. She just needs a land for 3 damage.
Yeah.
And if he has another burn spell, it's probably game. Marco needs a Lightning Helix of his own. Stay alive here.
Blood Moon
The Blood Moon. I think that Blood Moon is
locks out the
yeah,
helix effect of
yeah. It's I think it's too late.
yeah, and it also locks him out of white mana as well.
Yeah, locks him out of Helix as well. If he has
If he
Helix.
has helix, and he locks himself out of lingering souls as well.
Yeah. Let's see. So
Lava
there's Lava
spike
Spike,
to the face.
and then Lightning
Lightning
Bolt. So it's game.
It's a game.
So we have Fifi taking round one. She's 1-0, and we'll be back for our second round.